We're talking about acoustic levitation.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea that ancient civilizations might have actually used it.
It's a fascinating idea.
Yeah, you sent over some really interesting articles
Yeah.
all about this.
Yeah.
And specifically about the pyramids
Right.
and other megalithic structures all over the world. Yeah. So
We've got our work cut out for us.
yeah, so let's dive in and see if we can uncover anything.
Sounds good.
So where do we even begin with something like this?
Well, I think the best place to start is with the claims themselves.
Okay.
We're talking about ancient mysteries here,
Right.
and modern science.
Yeah.
So let's just acknowledge that we're dealing with some pretty extraordinary claims.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
Yeah.
the physics of sound can do some incredible things.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess before we really jump in, how familiar are you with the basic concept of acoustic levitation?
I've heard about it, but I'm definitely no expert.
Right.
Maybe you could give us both a quick breakdown.
Yeah.
Like, how does it actually work?
So basically, acoustic levitation uses sound waves to counteract the force of gravity.
Okay.
It's all about creating these standing waves,
Right.
points of high and low pressure,
Mm-hmm.
And by doing that, we can actually trap objects in midair.
Wow.
It sounds crazy, but
Yeah.
it's real, and it's being used in labs today.
So they're levitating things in labs.
Yeah, they're manipulating small objects, even liquids,
Really?
with sound.
Wow.
Pretty wild.
That's incredible.
But,
Yeah.
when you start talking about scaling that up
Yeah.
to, say, a massive stone block for a pyramid,
Right.
that's where the real mystery begins.
Exactly.
That's what we're going to look at.
Yeah. So let's start with ancient Egypt.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Pyramids.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody knows how massive those things are,
Oh, yeah.
with some blocks weighing several tons.
That's-
One theory about how they were moved,
Right.
possibly,
Right.
involves this 10th century Arab historian named al-Masudi.
Yeah.
And he actually wrote that the Egyptians used this magic papyrus
Right.
and a metal rod
Interesting.
to make these stones levitate.
It's a very cool image.
It is cool.
Very evocative, but
Mhm.
we need to, acknowledge that there's no direct archaeological evidence to actually support that claim.
Okay. So no magic papyrus yet?
Not that we've found,
Yeah.
but there are some interesting facts about the Great Pyramid itself.
Okay, like what?
Well, research has shown that the king's chamber actually amplifies certain frequencies, like around 110 hertz.
Uh-huh.
Pretty specific.
Yeah.
And some people believe that this points to a really deliberate design.
Uh-huh.
Maybe it was linked to ancient rituals or even influencing consciousness.
Wow.
Who knows?
That's pretty wild.
But clearly they knew something about sound
Yeah, it seems like they knew quite a bit.
and how it interacts with those species,
Mm.
with those structures.
And that makes you think, like
Yeah.
if they were manipulating sound in these really sophisticated ways,
Right.
what other capabilities
Yeah.
might they have had?
It makes you question everything.
Yeah.
You know?
It really does.
Like what we think we know
Yeah.
about ancient civilizations.
So much of what we think we know is based on assumptions.
Totally.
Yeah,
And this kind of throws a wrench in all of that.
it really does. Okay, so we have the pyramids.
Yeah.
What about other structures?
Well, this brings us to a more modern puzzle.
Okay.
The Coral Castle.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah. Have you been there?
I haven't actually seen it.
You should go.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
What's so special about it?
Well, it was built by this guy, Edward Leedskalnin,
Okay.
in the early 20th century.
Okay.
And it's made up of over 1,000 tons
Wow.
of coral rock.
1,000 tons.
Yeah, all moved and placed single-handedly
Wow.
by this guy.
That's insane.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is,
Yeah.
nobody really knows how he did it.
So there's no record of
Nope.
anyone seeing him do this?
No records of his methods.
Wow.
And people have been trying to figure it out for decades.
Wow. So what do we know about him?
Well, we know he was really into radio technology.
Okay.
He even talked about tuning into the music of the stars.
Music of the Stars?
Yeah, pretty out there.
Yeah.
And he also claimed that he'd rediscovered the secrets of ancient builders.
Like the pyramid builders.
Maybe.
Okay, so he was moving these massive stones
Right.
by himself, supposedly.
Yeah.
And nobody saw him do it.
Nope.
But we know he was interested in radio.
Right.
And he talked about this music of the stars.
And the secrets of ancient builders.
Okay, so,
It's all very mysterious.
yeah, is there any chance he was using sound somehow?
Well, it's definitely possible.
Okay.
I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
Sonic levitation often operates at frequencies that are beyond our hearing range.
Oh, so we wouldn't even know if those sounds were being used.
Exactly. It's silent to us, but it could be moving mountains.
Wow.
Literally.
Okay, so where would Leeds Scanlon have gotten these ideas?
That's a good question.
Like, where would he even learn about this stuff?
Well, there are some reports that he was a Freemason.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is interesting
Right.
because some people believe that groups like the Freemasons
Right.
hold secret knowledge.
About things like levitation.
Yeah, about all sorts of things.
Wow.
Lost technologies, ancient wisdom.
So he might have learned about these ancient techniques
Possible.
through the Freemasons
That's a theory.
and then used them to build the Coral Castle.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay, so we've got these two examples, the
Right.
pyramids and the Coral Castle.
Separated by thousands of years,
Yeah.
both surrounded by mystery
Yeah.
and a lack of clear answers.
So what does it all mean?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Could acoustic levitation, something that seems almost like magic, really have been used in the past?
Yeah. Could it be that simple?
It's a question that continues to intrigue researchers
Yeah.
and enthusiasts.
Yeah.
People who are fascinated by these ancient mysteries.
For sure.
And while we may not have concrete evidence yet,
Right.
the possibilities are incredibly exciting.
I mean, if sound can actually be used to manipulate matter
Yeah.
on such a massive scale.
On such a grand scale.
Yeah.
I mean, what other secrets of sound are waiting to be unlocked?
That's a great question.
Could modern science rediscover what ancient civilizations supposedly knew?
Maybe we're just scratching the surface.
Maybe the knowledge might be closer than we think.
Well, I guess that's something for our listeners to ponder.
Definitely something to think about.
Yeah. All right. Well, this has been an amazing deep dive.
I agree.
Yeah. Thanks for walking us through all of this.
It's been my pleasure.
Yeah. And to our listeners out there,
Yeah.
keep an open mind.
Stay curious.
Yeah. And who knows? Maybe we'll uncover the secrets of sound together.
Maybe one day.
All right. Until next time.
See you later.